There's this sweet balance with God where he's like, no, I'm going to address what's wrong and we're going to correct this and move forward. Sin is not there so that you can live in it. It's so that you can improve and grow. But at the same time, I'm also not going to be harsh on you and say that you're not valuable or you're not, I don't love you. There's this fatherhood and this motherhood. There's this healthy balance.
Hey, we're on the camcorder today and Eddie's coming in. We have a chef.
Oh, sorry, wrong place.
Introducing the series' first cooking show, a professional chef, model, and actor
Welcome to the Endeavor Kitchen. Let's get ready.
who sees creativity in everything he touches. Known for his precision, passion, and excellence in the kitchen, he brings a unique artistic lens to every dish. As seen in last summer's DTS Limited Edition, this is Edward Lancaster on Heaven's Kitchen.
Welcome back to the Endeavor series. This is season 2, Wrecked by God, or for short, Wrecked. What happens when your whole world and everything you thought you knew was completely flipped upside down because you've encountered the real God? This is Wrecked, season 2. I'm your host, greysalemons, and today we're in a different setting. We're in the kitchen with my friend, Chef Eddie.
Hi there.
He's a professional chef, and we're gonna have a great conversation about grit, perseverance, and endurance, while also spicing it up a little bit. We are gonna be making some good food today. This is our first cooking show on the Endeavor series. What should we call it?
What should we call it?
Endeavor on the stove? We have an Endeavor on the road.
Well, maybe something like this because you have an endeavor. It's about grit and endurance.
Okay.
You could do something about being urged in the fire. Is that right?
The furnace?
Furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lord talks about his refining fire.
Yeah.
How it like strengthens and purifies.
I like that.
So this could
The
be,
furnace.
you can call it the refining fire.
The
or-
refining fire.
This
I
is
like
good.
it.
I like this.
I like it.
This is good. That was really nice, actually.
It's gonna be so good. Eddie's gonna show us some great recipe. What is our recipe called today?
I'm making a lemongrass marinated steak banh mi.
Banh mi. What do we have here?
Yes. So,
Let's
quite a
see
few
it.
things.
Okay.
We have olive oil. We have cilantro. We have basil. We have mint, garlic. We have limes and a cucumber.
Cucumber.
Yes. We put it all together. Blend it up. Make a little sauce.
Oh,
For
okay.
the sandwich.
This is a sauce.
This is sauce.
Okay.
All right.
Is it gonna be like a tangy? I know we have like a lot of different spices. It's supposed to be tangy,
More of like
sweet.
it has a little tang to it.
I'm so excited to have you here, Eddie. I'm so excited to eat something good, but also hear about your story.
Yes.
Hear about who you are, where you're coming from. You've been a chef for so long. You're also a model and actor. You do so many things, and you're also my incredible friend and brother in Christ. Who are you? What are you doing right now in your life?
I grew up in the IE, Mariloma, Norco, and then I moved down to Anaheim. I'm 22 years old. My name is Eddie, full name, Edward Dwayne Lancaster Jr.
Okay, so you've been in California your whole life. How long have you been cooking?
I've been cooking for the last 4 years. I was blessed enough to have my mother and my father in my life. My dad was pretty heavy on whenever he'd cook as like extravagant. And my mom was like the type where she would just throw together casseroles and stuff like that. So she has a really good cooking too. To that contrast of like really taking all those ingredients and making something from scratch, it put a passion in me that I didn't really expect.
Yeah.
It's definitely started off as a hobby, and I literally went into culinary school back in 2022.
Okay.
Because I was like, why not? You know,
Where's
whoever
your-
my future wife is, she could be blessed by my cooking.
Oh, that's
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying?
I know she will be. Oh my gosh.
That was my thoughts, and then
And so what have you been doing now? I know like you have your own business, right? You're creating hors d'oeuvres for people for different events. What's
do.
been your experience with that?
oh man, I've had a couple of clients, but my main business, I do marketing and consulting for media companies and restaurants and stuff like that. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
so he
it's
does it all.
I do a little bit of everything.
So you make content for other restaurants for their food. You also make your own content for your own meals that you cook.
Yes.
That's amazing. I'm excited. We're gonna learn something new today.
This is gonna be
I'm
cool.
gonna learn a new recipe today.
I like
You're
cooking.
gonna learn a new recipe today.
Yes.
All right, let's start cooking.
Can I break the head off this cilantro? All right, cool. There you go. I'm gonna stuff that bad boy in there.
Okay, walk us through what we're doing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put all these in there and
Okay.
blend it up with some olive oil so that it actually liquefies.
So we put the cilantro in first.
Cilantro, yeah.
Now we're putting some basil in.
Basil. We did wash our hands. There's some details of that. So I'm just putting in all these herbs and then some lemon juice, garlic clove.
Do you want me to cut this?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Can you walk us through the knives? I know you have a beautiful knife set, and that's like the chef's toy, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I got these like when I was in culinary. I just wanted like some really good knives. I've had these for a while, but here you can take this. It's a 12-inch chef knife. You have different lengths when you're dealing with chef knives. So that one's a 12-inch chef knife, and then they typically what your default runs is like an 8-inch chef knife.
Oh,
which
okay.
you typically see in like kitchens and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So.
Did you want me to cut the lime with this knife, or is there a different knife? Okay.
But before you begin,
Yes.
I'll show you how to actually cut.
Yes,
So,
please.
A lot of people will cut like this. This is wrong.
Okay.
You grip with these two fingers, right here, and then you wrap around, boom. And then when you're cutting, you always use your knuckle as your guide.
Okay.
So you'll typically go like this, and then when you go. So.
You're coming from California. You told us a little bit about just who you are, where you're coming from, what your passion is. Now, what's your story? How did you get to know the Lord?
This is a good story. It actually took me a very long time to figure this out. I remember growing up and I was always like, Lord, like I feel like I've always known you. What is my testimony?
Yeah.
I've always felt like I've been following God, and so I was like, I don't really know what my testimony is because there was never like a defining moment where it really clicked. At least that's what I thought. But after looking back on my story, I think I did realize that I have been through some things where it clicked for me to like, man, if this is what sin is like, I never want to experience it again. And so there was like this transition when I was like 11 or 12. From that, I was always like, man, God is good, And so I trusted him, I trust God.
Yeah.
I need to just, dive deeper and walk the walk, because as I can see, even if things are difficult, I know that God's plan for me is better than any other plan I can have.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is gonna be, I gotta put my face to the ground and really just be obedient to what the Bible says. And I actually started serving the church, I would say, when I was like 15, 16. And I started doing actually all the stuff that I do now that I get paid for, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. I did acting, I did modeling, a lot of photography, videography. I was like a creative director for the team. And I was like 15, 16. They taught me how to edit commercials and all the things that I was doing. Kind of just branched out, and I started really taking all those things head on.
Yeah.
Put these over here for now. Just take this one. Boom, bada boom. Did you know you could do
You're
that?
smashing garlic here.
Yes. It also helps you peel this thing off.
Oh, that's cool.
And easier. So if you ever have a bunch of bulk garlic, just smash all of it. Put it in a container, shake it around, and these things come off so easy.
Oh wow.
So, little tip for you. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. The limes. I keep calling them lemons.
So you've always known Christ. Were your parents Christians as well?
My parents were Christian. I think there was such a gift with how my parents like taught. My dad's a psych tech, so he was like very into psychology. My mom is just very big on like, she always read the homeschooling books and like how to actually raise up a child well, and like how every child you have to deal with differently.
Yeah.
Because they all kind of work differently. You can't deal with one child the same, and that's actually a problem that a lot of parents deal with. At least that's something that I've seen. I remember I would always ask questions, especially in high school. We had this thing with my mom where she would always like give us like some wisdom or insight from the Bible, and then pair it with science. So I'd always see like, oh, there's this verse, but it also correlates with how science talks about certain things.
Yeah.
Like for example, just one thing is like, Jesus holds all things together. And in science, there's this thing called laminin, this molecule that actually holds everything together, bonds everything.
Oh wow.
So, and shaped like a cross.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is like random things like that, or like even deeper, more like wisdom things realistically, not necessarily actual practical things, but.
Do you want another line?
I'm trying to get the rest of the juice out of this one. This one's giving me some trouble, man.
Are we gonna squeeze all these limes in there?
No, I'm just gonna take 2. I only need like a tablespoon of juice.
Okay. So you grew up in a Christian home. Everybody has their story of endurance or endeavor.
Yes.
What was the moment in your life that you would say was probably your biggest endeavor?
I feel like I was like the goody two-shoes kid who always was trying to do everything right.
Yeah.
And so I got picked on a lot because of that, and like because I wasn't willing to fit in for compromise. I would say a lot of people disregarded me, or I got looked down upon. And so there was this thing in my life where I always like, I don't know, I just held God at a high standard. And now I've been through things like more later in my life where not that it faded, but I've struggled a little bit more in areas. I did end up drinking at some point in time a little bit, but like nothing crazy where it was consistent. It was more of like I was trying to, I almost fell into this lie. I've seen in the Bible this pattern. If you're too righteous or like too good, God won't give you the abundance that somebody who does sin will. Does more sinful acts. You see somebody who has gone through the most, but they get the most blessing out of it. But it's like grace abounds the more. This is what it says in the Bible. So it's like it does correlate with the Bible because grace abounds the more. But at the same time, I noticed that there was like this weird thing where if you are trying to live your life righteously, I've noticed that they don't really get lifted up as greatly. They don't necessarily get all the blessings or like all these things that come with actually having to go through the struggle. It was a pattern that I noticed, and so I almost fell into this pit trap of like I should sin because then I can get, in a sense, experience the blessing.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it was a very weird moment in my life. I was like, I felt very disconnected. What is my purpose? Where is my life going? Like I was trying to find purpose. I was trying to find what the actual meaning of my life was. I would say 6 months I had like that type of season. Okay. I was like, what the heck is going on with me right now? Like, why do I feel like this? Lord, I've always felt like I was close to you, but now I don't feel like I even really hear you. I'm struggling. That was actually after I went to Bible college. There was a season where I guess that's something that I had to iron out in my identity. It was like an identity ironing that God was doing with me to show me like, hey, you're a son, you have the inheritance, you have everything that I own. It's literally prodigal son. Yeah. You know? Imagine being the prodigal son where you're out and about eating slop from the pig's den. At least he knew he had a father to go back to. But what if you don't know that? Yeah. Where do you go? Yeah. You know, that's all I needed. I put a lot of lime juice, but yeah.
All right, so we've got olive oil, and we're gonna blend this thing, right?
Yes. It's funny, earlier I'm sitting there just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lord, what do I talk about in this podcast? Like, what should I talk about? And I felt like the Lord was like, your name. Like, what does your name mean? What it means is wealthy guardian.
Oh, wow.
And then my middle name, Dwayne, it means a fishing hook or boat maker. Almost inclined me to this contrast between Noah in the Bible. And there's like this thing on my life personally where I've seen there's like this faithfulness that God has on my life and this favor. Like if I actually explain my story in full depth, it would take hours, so I'm not gonna do that. But if I actually explain my story, there's always this thing where it's like God will tell me, hey, go this way. I'm gonna do the hard things. Yeah. I'm gonna have endeavor. I'm gonna grit this thing out. You know, I'm gonna like do it. Yeah. And because I know that if I do the hard things, it's gonna make me a better man in the future anyways. And I'd rather do the hard things now and then rest easy later. Yeah. Or let the hard things make it to where the hard things later become easier for me now. If I did the hard things, you know, it would take me to a place where I would prosper. Yeah. And I just knew that.
All right.
I'm blending.
Here we go.
ASMR.
Yay, we got our sauce done.
Give it a little sniff sniff.
That actually smells really good. Ooh, that smells so good.
Give it a little sniff sniff.
Smells good. Really nice. You smell that? Well. All right, what's next?
All right, so we got the sauce done. Now we're gonna do a little sriracha mayo. Okay. Something simple. I have this one for that. Okay. And then boom, bada boom. This is super easy. I'm gonna take a garlic clove for this, actually.
Can I try it?
You wanna give a little pound?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
Get all your action out, you know what I'm saying? It cracked.
Oh, so there we go.
You got it.
Okay, when you're persistent and you do the hard thing, like breaking a garlic clove with the palm of your hand.
This is good.
Then you get what you are gonna eat.
Something like that.
I think that's the verse. We got some mayo.
Mayo.
We got some hot sauce sriracha.
This is good.
All right. Oh yeah, that looks really spicy. Yeah?
We have our two sauces.
Yay.
Ready for assembly later.
Wow. What's our next step?
I'm gonna start searing off this steak. Ooh. And make some eggs. I'm gonna cut the bread. A lot of butter. I'm gonna put the eggs in so you can catch BTS with that as well. Ready?
Beautiful.
Grab grab the top end with these two fingers and you kind of keep it together and you pull it apart like that. Does that make sense? You kind of like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of the motion.
Crack it, you open it.
Yeah.
One more.
One more egg.
Golden egg.
We're gonna try it.
Egg. Okay, okay.
The sandwich. Look at that.
Wow, that looks good.
Gas.
Okay, so you share your story with us. I love to hear the perspective of someone who has maybe grown up with healthy parents, with having a background of Christ already. I think a lot of people have the story of the crazy testimony, which is cool, but then you kind of wonder, like, do I have a story? Do I have a testimony? Do I have something to share? Do I have purpose? Our first episode of season 2 is how do I find my purpose? And a lot of it is connected to your story. Do I even have a story to share if I don't have some crazy background? But it's like, there's actually something so special about the Lord preserving, but he was always looking out for you, and that's a testimony in itself.
Yeah, I could definitely say there was a lot of moments in my life where I easily could have turned a different direction. I think one of my major struggles, especially back in the day, not that I necessarily deal with it too much now, but one of it was just the lust. Like, obviously a lot of men deal with that, but there was this real attack on my life. I've never really had a girlfriend, so that was also like such a blessing. I just feel like, you know, this couldn't have happened if the Lord didn't preserve me. Like I said, opportunities to where I could have went the opposite direction. There was a moment, I was with a woman, wasn't my girlfriend. We were just trying to like hang out. There was a tension. I had an opportunity in that moment to be like, do I press in and move forward with this and actually like go with what my flesh wants, or do I, you know, move with what is right? And in that moment, thinking to myself the possibilities and the outcomes rather than just going with my fleshly desire. And I was like 16. I want to preserve myself for my future wife. That was just like an integrity that I wanted to carry. I want to be honorable for my family and show a good example of what a true man of God is. And I was like, I don't want to go that route. So I never did. And I feel like that was really by the grace of God to put that perspective on me in a moment where that perspective didn't feel possible. For like me to just automatically think that when I was in the middle of like a lustful desire, and then that turned me away from doing anything, it was like supernatural for me.
That's powerful. Preserved you for something greater and for something better. So thank you so much for sharing that.
It smells fantastic.
You're killing it.
Thank you. Add some oil, and then we'll add our marinated steak. It is marinated steak.
Wow.
From the last day, and lemongrass and a bunch of different herbs. This is how I made it.
And here's a prep. Insert video now. Wait, that looks crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Here's the brush, guys. Do you hear that? Wow.
So that'll just do its thing for a moment.
Okay.
Quiet.
Beautiful.
Nice and quiet. So while we let that sear off to us, and get, you know, actually cooked through. Now we're gonna get into the assembly time. The eggs. So I'll transfer the eggs. If I can actually cut it, jeez Louise. Okay, you know what I'll do? I need a solid surface. So there we go.
Wow, okay, first of all, that was like the most professional chopping I have ever seen in real time. So now we're just waiting for the steak.
It's going to be assembly time.
It's gonna be assembly time. And then what's gonna happen at assembly time?
Assembly time, we're just gonna put on the sauces on the sandwich.
Okay.
Layer everything up, make it look pretty.
Uh-huh.
And then we're gonna present it. You guys can come and try it, eat it, partake of it. It's gonna be amazing.
Ah!
It's gonna be great.
I'm excited for this. Okay, and so the assembly is gonna be, we have the sauces, which is the spicy mayo and the greens.
Yes, the greens.
And then we have the eggs, and then we have cucumbers. My stomach is
I can taste it.
waiting. How's our steak doing?
It's looking good. It's satisfying, I don't know why.
Can you teach us a little bit of like cooking terminology? So, like, what are the things that matter in cooking? Texture?
Texture and balance is like big in cooking. So it's like, can you balance the flavors, the acidity, the richness?
I love that you said earlier that the Lord is in everything.
Yes.
And so even in cooking, it's like there's a balance.
Even going back to the mother and father thing.
Yeah.
If you're overly mother, you lack discipline, causing you to be enabled, lazy. If you're over fathered or over disciplined, realistically we call it over fathered and over mothered, but it's not necessarily about the two, because your mother can be really disciplined and your dad can be really soft and gentle. That they both have a very heavy role to play. You cannot have one without the other, and this is where balancing comes into play. You can enable somebody into their sin if you don't address it, and that comes with then the father. A father would address it and say, here's how you can correct it to move forward. I mean, that's actually a healthy father's way of doing it. You may lack a father, or you may lack a mother, or it just wasn't their dynamic where they were teaching you and raising you up in a healthy manner.
I feel like a misconception could be falling into the extremes. You know, like how you're saying, like you could be someone who's extremely maybe strong or disciplined, or you can have someone who's extremely into grace and love and kindness. And both things are great, but when you have one without the other,
Yes.
just like if you have something that's too sweet or too salty, like the sweet and salty combined makes something so much more, just something better.
I've actually seen this quite a bit in my own life.
Yeah.
Where either you get over disciplined, and so it'll either shut you down to where you don't feel like you can move.
Yeah.
There's like this high bar that you have to always set.
Yeah.
You know, you hear that God loves you, you hear that you have everything in Christ, but you don't really feel that way. And then vice versa, your mother is over nurturing, and she doesn't necessarily address the wrongings. She only cuddles you until you feel good. And there's this interesting dynamic where it'll enable you in what you're doing. Like, oh, okay, I can just come back and have comfort. There's this sweet balance with God where he's like, no, I'm going to address what's wrong, and we're going to correct this and move forward. You know, sin is not there so that you can live in it. It's so that you can improve and grow.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm also not going to be harsh on you and say that you're not valuable, or I don't love you in my eyes because you're sinning. There's this fatherhood and this motherhood. There's this healthy balance.
I think a lot of us maybe have that misconception of falling into the extremes, or how we were talking about earlier, the misconception that if you don't have a crazy testimony that you're not important, that you don't have a story to share.
On that note, actually, this is really good, because what I've actually learned more recently is I'm only 22 years old and I have so much stuff happening.
Yeah.
But I would say it's actually because of my obedience that I'm here where I'm at. It actually expedited my process and brought me quicker to my calling and the promised land that I have seen with people who have gone through and had to go through the struggle. So this is now a new understanding that I have in my life where I'm like, wow, I've seen God's faithfulness, because also I've been willing to trust him, because that's also an idea of faith. If he's real, I'm going to do what he says.
Yeah.
You know, because I trust him in what he's saying. The biggest asset you can have towards God is to be correctable. Truly, what has brought me so quickly into the things that God has me doing. Yeah. It's to be correctable, to be humble, to be willing to be, not even willing, but even in the moments where you feel like, no, I'm right, I have to be right. Like there's like this friction that you feel, this thing about being correctable that God loves, because when he brings something to you, he wants you to address, you actually address it.
Yeah. I think it's a great analogy, like using cooking and how it even just compares to our own life, and how the Lord directs us, corrects us, loves us, pushes us forward. And I also love that you said, because I know people know that the Endeavor series is about discipline, it is about perseverance, it is about doing the hard thing, but you can't do that without having the other side of grace. There's a sweet balance, and that's how you're gonna win.
Too many people have been broken by their parents or somebody they looked up to, just looking at them and saying, I'm disappointed in you because you did something wrong. And for me, it was like this moment, I remember this moment specifically in my life where I looked at somebody I loved and I was like, and I knew I had done something wrong, and they had told me they were disappointed. And in my heart, it shifted this mindset in me where I'm like, I don't even have a place in your heart anymore. And so there's this thing when it comes to disappointment where you feel like God is disappointed, like you can't even have a place in his heart anymore. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. The more you can address it, the more you can learn about yourself and really heal.
You know, a lot of people, they're walking in either or, where it's like, I'm walking in all the grace and all the love, but I'm not moving forward because I'm not able to be corrected, or I might get offended. And then there's the other side where it's like, there's so much discipline, there's so much, you get so hard on yourself that you wonder, like, do I even have a relationship with
you can't even step forward because you feel you're unqualified. Yeah, I've been in both categories, I feel like, in my life. I've actually dealt with both. I've had seasons where I felt like I was unqualified, and that's like both sides of pride. Both is to say, I'm not trusting you, Lord, because I feel like what I have and what my mindset is above yours.
Yeah.
So both are pride, but it's just different types. I mean, you have two types of pride. One where it's haughty and you're like, I'm better than you, but then one where you're like, I'm not enough.
False humility.
False humility.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks good.
Nice. Just medium.
Medium. A little some.
That's perfect. That's how I like my steak.
I'm good.
Medium.
Okay. Good, because I'm cooking it for you. I have 2 spoons right here for you.
Okay.
One of them you're just gonna spread the sriracha mayo. No, if you're cooking steak, after you cook it, let it rest for 10 minutes so it absorbs the juices. It might be a little bristly. That's pretty gas.
That's good.
So what we're gonna do is you're just gonna take the bread, do the sriracha mayo first. You're gonna add on steak, cucumber, pickled veggies, an egg. And then give it a little drizzle. Press.
What?
Look at that. Look at that action.
Wow.
Bon me. And then I'll let you try it. I try it.
Okay.
There we go. Alright. Hopefully it stays together. Take it out. Now we'll take this. Alright. Ciao. You ready?
Yes.
Didn't get a ticket. Boom.
Wow. We got going again. Oh. Oh. I need one.
I'm going in.
Oh my gosh. 10 out of 10. Wow, this is a mess, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful mess.
Oh my lord. That's really good. Let me make you your sandwich, MJ. Sorry, it's all over the place.
Come try this. Get into frame while you're on camera.
Most dink it and sink it, you know? Oh, sorry. You wanna get in here? You got your little last bite of sandwich? All together now. 3, 2, 1.
I got something. We have a little bit of Martinelli's.
A little bit of apple juice.
A little bit of sparkling apple juice. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Martinelli's for you? Martinelli's for you? Martinelli's for me? Big bite. Yo!
Eating and all you can say is At least it's better than
Chef's kiss.
Just dance, right?
Oh, I guess we can finish the episode.
Be corrected.
Yeah.
And work for what's right and do it for God. God will take you through ups and downs, some struggles, some endurances. You press in and your life will be so much more fulfilling than if you did it without him. I'm about to go into a food coma.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie, for sharing your story.
When I become a father, it's going to be such a gift. And that's going to be something that, like, I would say that the Lord is going to use very heavily in my life to raise up amazing young men and women of this generation, of the next generations.
Well, if you are inspired or encouraged by this message, please subscribe. And now
Hit
it's
that
time.
notification button.
Hit that notification button. And now it's time for you to go ahead and get up and do something because your day is just beginning.
Oh, jeez. That was the outro right there. She hit it with the...
Bon appetit!
She said, get your butt off the couch.